Yeah, I was told so many things. You're not tall enough. You're not. Your build is not right. Your eyebrows are a little not in a certain shape, and very weird things like close up me. And like what? What about acting? वो किसको चाहिए? No, we don't. We call it cameo now, but that time it was like for me it was a part. I'm lucky I started with LSD because it really portrayed me as an actor, and I have decided for myself how the kind of films I want to do, and commerciality doesn't come in that. I'm not in a race. I'm not in a competition where I just want to. I want every film to do 100 crores. I've started using her as this Patralekhaa. I'm her husband, Rajkummar Rao. We are actually soulmates. With Badhaai Do, I would say, first of all, I'm so proud of Badhaai Do. I'm so happy I got to be a part of that film. I wish we would have released it now. I have a very strong feeling that it would have done much better than what it did. I was never, I would say, fond of remake.
You were doing Chupke Chupke ka remake.
No, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, they will be hit the second case, but here I think his plan is slightly different. Here he wants to follow the character, like I would be playing Vikram Jaising in the second one, in the third one.
Hello everyone, this is Akash Bhatnagar. You're watching Bollywood Bubble, and today I'm sitting with an actor whose name is enough to make a film credible on its authenticity, on its quality. And he's as charming as he seems on screen, because right now I'm sitting with him and I can feel that effect on me. So welcome Rajkummar to Bollywood Bubble. I have to say, like, the trailer of Hit is creating so much waves. It's looking so fantastic. I have to start by saying, like, this is your second Cop Avatar this year.
Yeah, after Badhaai Do. Correct.
Yeah, but so drastically different. Yeah. One thing I liked about Badhaai Do was that the best thing was he's homosexual, but he's also homophobic, because that is kind of a defense mechanism of his. Here, it's a completely different case. So, like, what was your takeaway from both the characters? Because they might seem a little similar on the outside, but they are not. So, what were your two different takeaways from those characters?
With Badhaai Do, I would say, first of all, I'm so proud of Badhaai Do. I'm so happy I got to be a part of that film. Yeah. And my takeaway would be, I think you should accept who you are. That's the only way to peace, I feel. Yeah. If you'll keep, putting on an avatar which you're not, it maybe it worked for a few days, few weeks, few months, few years, but eventually you won't be happy inside. So it's very important to accept who you are first, and then society would accept it eventually. Yeah. And with Vikram Jaising from Hit, I've learned is you don't have to be so harsh on yourself. Like Vikram is carrying so much of baggage, he's going through such a trauma, but he's still at it, at his job, at his work front. So I think he can, he can take it easy sometimes. He's very harsh on himself.
You have had a very unconventional debut. Many people might not know that he had a cameo in Run, which I know.
That time we call it cameo now, but that time it was like, for me it was a part. Which I didn't realize till I reached on set.
But also, like, after that also Love, Sex or Dhokha was a very...
LSD of course.
It was a very different kind of a film that people are actually used to debuting with. So for you from there to kind of make it today where you are, like the mainstream cinema where you are, the face of films, people are coming to you offers. How has that struggle been for you?
It's been overwhelming, honestly. Coming from Gurgaon, which was a small town when I was growing up there, and seeing this dream to be an actor and act in movies, and for that dream to actually come true, it's just a lot of gratitude. I think it's the blessings of my mother, and God's been really kind to me, because I really wanted it so badly, and I worked very hard for it. I won't deny that. I think I worked really, really hard. I was the hardest worker in my room, in my class. I can say that with a lot of humility. But debuting with LSD, as an outsider, it's not like I had options. Okay, ye teen films aap choose kar lo. Whatever, and I'm lucky I started with LSD because it really portrayed me as an actor. And my debut was with Diwakar Banerjee, who is one of the most prolific filmmakers we have in the country. And from there to hit the first case, it's surreal. It's actually living my dream every day. So I'm just, as I said, there's just a lot of gratitude and nothing else.
Yeah. And since you talked about coming from Gurgaon, I remember talking to you last time, and you had told me that you came to Mumbai to audition for Boogie Woogie.
Oh yeah, correct.
Yeah. So you are a dancer. Okay? Sanya is a dancer. So I was screen pe to nahi ho paya because the film does not demands it. But off screen, were there a little dance exchange between the two of you?
Yeah, we keep doing that. Whenever somebody plays a song, Sanya and me, we keep grooving. And she's a fab dancer. And she we've been making reels and doing some stuff, and she's been choreographing. She's very good at it.
Yeah, she is a good professional choreographer, but you are also not half bad.
Like, yeah, I can move in beats, but I won't say. I used to dance very well when I was only, dancing on stage. But the day I decided I want to be an actor, so my whole focus shifted towards acting.
But Panghat type गानों में हमने देख लिया.
हाँ, अभी भी मतलब थोड़ा बहुत हिल लेता हूँ मैं.
But also like there was a time when you were getting the supporting characters, or not the meaty parts were not coming your way. The filmmakers were not kind of coming to you, kind of running from you. Today they are behind you to get you to be the face of their film. Do you feel a sense of pride? How have the things changed?
No, yeah. To be very honest, people who know me, they would second that. I don't feel any kind of pride in anything. I am very happy. I'm getting the kind of work I'm getting to do, because these are the films I'm happy doing. Hit, Badhaai Do, Bheed, Monica My Darling, Guns and Gulabs, Mr and Mrs Mahi, the kind of work which would be coming now in near future. Apart from that, I don't sit back and think, okay, wow, मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ, nothing. I live every day as it comes. I'm very real in real life. I am not carrying any, anything which is not me. I'm doing this because I love doing it for myself, not for anybody else. I was never chasing fame, was never chasing money. All I wanted to do was act in movies and play different characters. Yeah.
And you haven't changed from what you were doing. You are still doing the same things in a much more refined way, because that experience have come in. So were there any kind of rejections, the reasons that were given to you at that time that now seem ridiculous or now seem a little funny to you? Because now people are accepting you for that.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I was told so many things. You're not tall enough, you're not, your build is not right, your eyebrows are a little not in a certain shape, and very weird things like close up me. And like, what? What about acting? Wo kisko chahiye? I'm glad Dibakar wanted that, and Atul Bongya saw that, my casting director for my first film, because that's the thing which will take you forward and nothing else. Eventually, the talent stays, and nothing else remains. Yeah.
And in the film, we see that Sanya is your partner, and she disappears. So, if in real life Patralekhaa disappears from your life, what would the reason be?
Why would she disappear? No, I won't let her disappear.
No, matlab not in that sense ki matlab kidnap hi ho gayi, but disappear in a sense that she's kind of fed up of something you have done. What would that reason be?
No, she would never do that. No, she would come and talk to me, and we would have a conversation if ever anything like that happens. But no, I think we are, as I said it in my wedding speech, we are actually soulmates. Yeah.
And that kind of shows in the kind of camaraderie you have shown in the last 12 years.
Yeah.
You have been partners for 12 years. And like, it wasn't such a big, marriage is a big step, but for you had been together for 12 years. So taking that step was not a big deal.
It wasn't.
Yeah. But have you noticed any change in your relationship after that?
Nothing has changed. I think I just feel more complete, I would say. But apart from that, nothing has changed. Of course, now people, the introduction has been different. I've started introducing her as, this Patralekhaa, I'm her husband, Rajkummar Rao. So that husband-wife, the terms have changed. Apart from that, nothing. Yeah.
But that is so sweet. Like, I'm her husband. Like, that is very sweet to see.
Yeah, but that's how I introduce her. It's not like she's my wife. Why? I'm her husband too.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But has she kind of influenced given you any inspiration in your work? Like,
always. I think she's my most honest critic, and in everything, in what I wear. If she doesn't like something, she would tell me on my face, and for betterment and for my growth, even work-wise. The kind of film, if she doesn't like a film, she would just tell me then and there, why are you doing such films? You deserve better.
And coming to Hit, like, the film is a remake of a South film, and we have seen in the recent times, like Beat with Jersey, or like recently Forensic also came, like people have not been that receptive to remakes now after the theatres have opened. So does that make you a little apprehensive about doing further remakes in the coming time?
I was never, I would say, fond of remakes, but Hit was that film which when I saw, like, the initial conversation started somewhere in 2020 when we all were in a lockdown, And anyways, we were watching a lot of content, so I said, why not? Let me just watch another film. And I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I thought it was very well written, it was so gripping. But I wanted to talk to the maker, to the director, because I didn't want him to just copy paste and make another, just another language film. So I spoke to him, and he told me that how he wants to have a new take in the Hindi one, and he wants to reach to a wider audience by making it in Hindi language. And he has done that. He has changed so many things. The treatment is very different. The screenplay, there are so many things that have been changed in the screenplay. Of course, the performances are different, the BGM. So when I saw the original, I saw it in 2020. And now that when I saw our film, Hit the First Case, it didn't remind me of the original one at all. Like, it felt like a fresh new film. Of course, the soul is similar, the story is somewhat similar, but a very different take.
And talking of remakes, a few years ago you had only told me that you were doing Chupke Chupke ka remake.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
Okay, but that I was a little very excited about that, because after I talked to you and I got to know that the remake is happening, I watched the original film and I really liked it.
Thank you. It is, of course, it's a classic. Maybe that's the reason we're not doing it.
When I watch reviews and the channels that I follow, there's something people say about actors who are known for their good quality of work, that they do commercial films to kind of stay relevant. But in that process, their kind of the quality of work also decreases, because you have to survive in the mainstream as well. Do you feel like it becomes a necessity to do kind of those films?
Not really. I think each to his own. It doesn't matter, I feel. There's enough space for everyone to survive. There are enough opportunities. And you have to decide for yourself what you want to do, how you want to be remembered after you've gone from this world. And I have decided for myself how the kind of films I want to do. And commerciality doesn't, come in that. And today I think things have changed. Things were different 2 years back, before lockdown, before pandemic. Like Newton and Stree, none of us expected Bareilly would do phenomenally well at the box office, but they did. So I think nobody knows the formula. The only formula I know is how to give my 100% to a film, and to really, be proud and happy of making that film. So I just do that. Commercially, I don't understand how to make a film success at the box office.
And whenever you have spoken about Badhaai Do, you have always been very vocal about how proud you are of that film. But it was the first film that kind of took that step to come into theatres after the whole pandemic thing had happened. So when the film didn't do well commercially, did it kind of hurt?
I wish we would have released it now. I have a very strong feeling that it would have done much better than what it did. But still, when I look back and when we look back, the kind of numbers it did around 23, 24, and from where it started, I think it was a great number. How it really, people started coming to theatres because of word of mouth. And when we released, there were no night shows. In Delhi, Mumbai, there were no night shows. There were very limited shows, and still for it to do around 23, 24, looks like a great number now. And my producers, of course, made good money from Badhaai Do, from theatre and then digital and then satellite. So they are happy, and that's what I always say. As long as my producers are not losing money and they are making enough money to produce another good story, I'm very happy with the fact. I'm not in a race. I'm not in a competition where I just I want every film to do 100 crores. Great if it does. If it doesn't also, as long as people are liking it, people are watching it even after 2 years, very happy with that fact.
Also, Coffee with Karan is returning. So I wanted to know, will we be gonna seeing you on the show this time?
No, I'm not there this time.
Why? Any reason?
Ask Karan, I don't know. You have to ask him.
Yeah, but also you are getting to play cricket in Mr and Mrs Mahi. So how is it turning a sportsman?
It's great. I've always been in sports since my childhood, be it taekwondo, martial arts. I play a little bit of cricket, hockey, basketball, everything a little bit. But taekwondo, mostly yes. So I love playing sports. And our director Sharan, he is a perfectionist. So he wants everything to be right up there. So I've been training to play cricket, but Janvi's been training because she has to play it, of course, full throttle. But fun, to work on that film.
Yeah, and the premise also looks very intriguing
It's a beautiful story, yeah.
Yeah, so that is I'm really excited about. Also, lastly, I want to ask, like, Hit is a franchise in South. So are we gonna be seeing you continuing that franchise in Hindi?
Oh yeah, they will be Hit the second case. But here I think his plan is slightly different. Here he wants to follow the character. Like, you know, I would be playing Vikram Jaising in the second one, in the third one. I think there what his plan is to take different actors for different hit series. But here he wants to follow Vikram Jaising's journey. And eventually, you never know, he might mix all of us together in one film.
Yeah. And I think Vikram Jaising has a lot of issues to kind of solve within himself. So
He
I think it will take at least 3-4 films. Yeah. But really excited to see you don the cop avatar again, and this time
Thank
that
you.
intense cop. So
Thank you.
wishing you loads and loads of love and luck for Hit
Thank you.
everything that's gonna come after it, because it's all gonna be a hit, I'm sure.
Thanks a lot.
So thank you so much for
Thank
this.
you. Hi, I'm Rajkummar Rao and you're watching Bollywood Bubble.